This is my Stewie hat, and I bring it out from time to time. Stewie from Family Guy. I have to adjust my t-shirt because it says American Eagle. It's a very corporate t-shirt, and it doesn't have any particular meaning unless you're an American and you're an eagle or something. And as far as Stewie goes, it's just a hat today. Let's see, we're going to talk about Law of One. Law of One. Law of One. It sounds like a lot of the laws of the Ascended Masters. Ascended Masters? Why are there so many laws? I don't know. I subscribe to this LL Research, which talks about this Law of One. And every time I read a blurb on Law of One, I go, huh? None of it makes any sense to me. Law of One, don't bother with it. I just go, huh? It doesn't mean anything to me. Every time I read it, I say, this person needs a really good editor. They need to go back to 9th grade to learn how to write in clear language. It's some channeled entity, Quo or something, or Raw or something, some channeled entity that can't speak English. And people, you see these things posted, and then they're like, oh, thumbs up, Law of One. Why did they do this? I've got a master's degree, and I look at this and I say, I can't understand it. It's poorly written. Why do you give it a thumbs up? It don't mean shit to me. Someone says to me, well, can you try and guess what Law of One means? No, I can't guess. When I look out at the stars and I look at pictures from the Hubble Space Telescope, I see infinity. Infinity. It breaks my mind to try and think of infinity. It just keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going. Infinity. Let's talk about Law of Infinity. No, they want to talk about Law of One. Well, then someone says, well, it's a universe. Uni is like Latin. It means one. Well, then why are there so many people that talk about a multiverse? Because it's infinity. Multi means multiples, and it goes towards infinity. And everyone says it's an infinity. So it's not a one thing. It's a infinity thing. One spirit being that's living through an infinity of individual beings. Is it true? Is that what the Law of One is? It's a law. It's one thing. We're all one thing. Is it true? Someone else just said, well, if you're having inner silence, isn't that oneness? No. Just because I'm having infinite silence within myself doesn't mean the rest of the people on the bus that I'm sitting on are not having monkey mind chattering away. Do we have one consciousness field that we're experiencing each other in? I don't know. That's an interesting one, that we have a common consciousness field, um, and we're using that to communicate within. I don't know, could be, but is it a law? I can't say it's a law. Is it logical? At first glance, it seems logical. I mean, you're watching this on a computer, and I'm talking into a smartphone, which is a little mini computer. So is it a field of consciousness that allows us to have these computers? Why am I having a problem saying it's a law of one? Just because that's not what they're talking about when these law of one people are talking. They're basically saying, they say a lot of things in the law of one that have nothing to do with one being. They talk about service to others and service to self, beings, plural. So how is that one? I think it's a lot of bullshit. So that's my lecture on law of one. I have no proof of a law of one. And people that just believe it, if you look at the word believe, the word lie is in the middle of believe. So don't believe in anything, because it may well have a big lie in the middle of it. Propaganda is all about making you believe someone else's bullshit. Adolf Hitler and Joseph Goebbels from Nazi Germany believed in telling people big lies over and over again to brainwash them into the believing whatever lie it was given all the time. So don't believe in things. A lot of people take things and they don't test them. You know, it's written in your textbook, so it must be true. No, I'm sorry, that's the way that humans are taught, because it is a big failing. No one at the beginning of your course in anything says, this is a textbook and it might be wrong. They never say that. They should. They should say, this is what's given to us by the school board to teach you. I, as a teacher, didn't choose this book. It's chosen by someone else, and I never even met the people that chose this. It may well be that in the United States, multiple states have chosen this. In Canada, multiple provinces have chosen this textbook. No, the states didn't choose it. In other words, all the humans in each individual state, or all the humans in the provinces, didn't choose it. It was a select few people, and they chose this textbook. But I'm obligated to use this textbook because somehow they're the authority. And even though I'm your teacher, I don't get to choose my textbook. They should tell you that when you're a student. And they should say, as your teacher, I want to tell you, best advice is to take everything with a grain of salt. In other words, just because I'm teaching it to you and I have to teach it to you and you have to come to this school, it doesn't mean it's true. And history of humanity is things change. And as we learn new things, things that we taught each other in centuries ago, we look back and we say that's foolishness. But that's what people believed back in those days. So it could very well be that this textbook is already out of date. And it could be that textbook has got lies in it to make you believe things that are completely wrong because it's a controlling thing. In other words, if we get you to believe all these books that you have to learn, you're going to be a good drone for corporate states of the world. We're not going to teach you how to muscle test to get some truth for yourself. We're not going to teach you to meditate. I'm not going to teach you to see if you can contact other consciousness beings by telepathy. Those things don't exist. It's foolishness. You're a quack if you believe these things. That's what people will tell you. It's science fiction. It's not real. Science proves these things. It's really a big trap, the public school systems and the universities, because it's groupthink. And no one knows who the people were that selected these textbooks or who wrote these textbooks. But when the test comes up, you got to give the answers according to what the textbook says. So that's basically your talk. It's go back and everything that you say, I believe this, go back and see, well, did you believe it because you read it in the textbook in high school? Or because someone on television told you that? Many people say, well, I did my research on the internet. I used Google and some other search engine, and I found this stuff. I found all these articles, and some of them were written apparently by someone with a PhD. It doesn't mean it's really true. I've talked about this before. A lot of the stuff it's not necessarily true. Do you have to go with it? It's well, I don't know. It's very difficult to tell you, other than don't believe the lie in belief. Be skeptical. If you're skeptical all the time, is that a good thing? According to Dr. Hawkins of Consciousness Research, being skeptical is also a problem. It's a spiritual trap. Because you're skeptical of anything that's not in the textbook. So it's you're damned if you do believe the textbook and you're damned if you don't. See if it's useful for you, if it works. And then always remember, in, I don't know, the 1700s, they believed Newtonian physics, billiard ball physics. Quantum physics really wasn't investigated until the early 1900s. And it was a huge change in the way that physicists looked at the world. Are there other things that we don't know? Oh, I'll bet there are. I'll bet there's way more stuff beyond quantum physics that we haven't come across yet. So don't say, I have to believe this because science proves it. Keep an open mind. I'm Stewie.